All right, let's jump right into this one. We're diving into an incredible story from an ancient epic, and let me tell you, it's a wild ride. It all kicks off with a sudden, shocking tragedy that leads to the unexpected rise of a new king. A king who literally has to build his reign from the ashes of his father.
Wow. Just take that in for a second. Burnt to ashes, as if he had been struck by lightning. This is where our story begins, with a king, Parikshit, who doesn't just die. He is completely, utterly obliterated by the serpent king, Takshaka.
So, how did this horrifying event even happen? Well, the king wasn't alone. His entire court was there. They saw the whole thing unfold. And honestly, their reaction pretty much says it all.
Just try to picture it. You're one of the king's most trusted ministers. You're standing right there, and you are totally helpless. People go white with terror, they're crying out, and then Takshaka lets out this horrifying roar, and everyone just scatters. People are screaming, sobbing, running for their lives. It's absolute pandemonium.
And in the middle of all this chaos and horror, Takshaka, the Serpent King, he just leaves. He takes to the sky to make his escape. But the really incredible part is the way the text describes him flying away. It's almost poetic, hauntingly so.
I mean, just listen to that imagery, like the scarlet streak in a blue lotus. How wild is that? It's this stunningly beautiful, almost elegant description for a creature who just committed an act of pure, brutal violence. And it's that contrast that gives these ancient stories so much power.
Okay, so the king is dead, the assassin has vanished. What happens now? The kingdom is obviously reeling, but they're also facing this really grim and kind of strange practical problem.
Even in the middle of all that devastation, duty still calls. The king's most loyal guys, his main minister and the royal priest, they know what they have to do. They step up immediately to perform the final rituals for their fallen sovereign.
But there was one huge problem. There was no body. Takshaka's poison was so incredibly potent that it had literally burned the king to nothing but ash. That one detail just hammers home the terrifying absolute power that brought down their ruler.
Now, a kingdom without a leader is vulnerable, right? That's just asking for trouble. The remaining leadership understood this perfectly, and they knew they had to move, and move fast, to make sure the line of succession wasn't broken.
And just look how quickly this all happens. 1 minute, the king is annihilated. The next, they're performing last rites over, well, nothing. And then boom, immediately, the citizens gather to crown a new monarch, Parikshit's young son, Janamejaya. There was absolutely no time to waste.
So, who is this new king? Well, here's the fascinating thing about Janamejaya. Physically, he was just a boy. But his mind? The text says he was already mature, already wise. This wasn't some kid they just put on the throne for show. He was the real deal, a capable leader right from the very beginning. And people could see it right away. Guided by his counselors, he started ruling with the same kind of wisdom and justice as his legendary great-grandfather, Yudhishtira. And if you know these stories, you know that's a huge deal. Comparing him to Yudhishtira is basically the ultimate stamp of approval. It tells everyone this kid is legit.
Okay, so the immediate crisis is handled. The new king is on the throne, and he's doing a great job. Now, Janamejaya and his ministers had to think about the long game. How do they secure the kingdom's stability for good?
And what's the classic move for securing a dynasty's future? You guessed it, a royal marriage. This wasn't just about finding a wife. This was a strategic alliance. So the ministers go to the king of Kasi, and he, being a smart ruler, does his homework on this young but impressive Janamejaya. He likes what he sees and agrees to the match.
And here's the best part. Even though it started as a political arrangement, it actually blossomed into a genuine, happy union. Janamejaya was completely devoted to his new queen, Vapushtama. The story says he never gave his heart to any other woman. She was described as the most beautiful of women, and they just clicked. They found a true partnership.
And you get the sense that this joy just radiated outwards from them. The image we're left with is one of total renewal. This youthful, energetic royal couple just exploring their kingdom together, enjoying life. It's a powerful symbol of a new era of peace and vibrancy after so much darkness.
So we have a kingdom reborn, a new king and queen filled with happiness. Everything seems to be on the right track. But let's not forget how this all started, with a brutal, unresolved act of violence. Which leaves us with this big, lingering question.
Can all this new joy truly last? Or is the shadow of the past, the memory of a father burnt to ashes, just waiting to demand its due?